Well, hello everybody, welcome to Endless Multiverse episode 45 with your co-hosts Chainsaw and Andy. We have a variety of topics to talk about today. Actually, a good portion of them is DC related in a sense, which is kind of crazy, but we do have a few things to talk about today. Sir, how are you doing?
I am tired. I survived the week. I finished schoolwork. I finished a lot of work stuff, podcasting stuff. I cleaned. I cleaned a lot of shit today.
I cleaned.
There might be one point I may have to run to in the back because my dryer is still going and the timer might be running out at some point while we're running. So
Okay.
But how was your week, Mister? I crossed 10,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, that was very good. Yeah, overall, I think it's been pretty good. I've been focusing more on TikTok. I've been doing a couple things. I did a movie reaction to that Megan movie, which is kind of like Chucky in a sense. That was kind of crazy. And yeah, just going through the week, and work is, I don't even know what's going on with work. It's whatever. It's a whole thing. It's a whole mess. But are you ready to dive into these topics, sir? Because we got some big things to discuss this week.
Yeah, I'm just checking Twitter to be sure that nothing else is broken because I don't trust Twitter anymore. I don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust that it's like because let me just tell this. Whenever we've done episodes of Flashback, because we usually record now on Saturdays during the hiatus season, and then I'm editing because we usually put out every episode on Thursdays. And then what will happen is that usually on the Wednesday or Thursday, right before I upload, something will drop, and I'm like, "Well, fuck! Now our listeners have to wait like another week to hear us talk about it," and it's just so annoying. And so I think we're good. I think Twitter's safe. I mean, it's Elon Musk's Twitter, so who the fuck knows?
Because I was like thinking, what if James Gunn drops the DCU slate later today and it completely upends our whole show? Like, okay, we gotta move everything around, but I really hope it's Monday. I really hope it's a Monday thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Monday and Tuesday. That's the end of the month. That's the end of January. So. But let's dive in, guys. We have a few things to discuss. First thing is positive, but Constantine, take it away, sir.
All right, then. On with the show.
Always with that lighter. So our first topic tonight, guys, is a trailer. A trailer. Surprising, I know. It's Fury of the Gods Shazam. We're talking about the second official trailer that dropped. We got the announcement it was coming at some point, and then of course we got the announcement the day before the release saying the trailer's dropping. And here's what I am kind of annoyed by. I wish they would have said when the trailer was dropping in terms of time, because I was ready at 9 o'clock my time, because a lot of trailers on Eastern Standard Time, they drop at 9 o'clock. Well, not the case at all for Shazam, but it's okay.
I mean, we can't. I mean, I'm sorry that the universe doesn't, and I mean, the love doesn't revolve around you.
It should. But so we got the second trailer, and this shot was from our first teaser at Comic-Con, but they showed the shot again, and I think this is a better quality shot from the trailer. But the second trailer showcased a lot more of the action in this film, and there were some story points, but a lot of it was mainly focused on action, and showing off these new suits. Because of course, as we know, they all got upgraded suits, and apparently there's no explanation why, but a lot of action. And my question is, do you think that this is because there truly is a lot of action, or they're trying to go for a certain marketing push to get people into the theaters? Because that first Shazam film had action, but it wasn't a lot in the film. It was more about the story and not so much all these action set pieces. Do you think that they may have went more action in this film because they got a higher budget, or you think it's just the marketing side of it?
I mean, I know this is a bigger film for various plot reasons, so it's like this is not just they're not just gassing us up for nothing. This is definitely like a larger scale movie. The budget has definitely gone up, and it's like, 'cause it feels. Because when I had watched the first one not that long ago actually, and I remember it felt like that felt like to me like an HBO Max movie if it had been made today and so on, where there is action, but we're starting off small. We're not starting off in necessarily intensely big, but I know that we can soon talk about the movie in 2 months, and you will see that it is a definitely larger scale movie. And I mean, listen, if you're able to get, let me read the cast list: Rachel Zegler, Miss Lucy Liu, and Dame Helen fucking Mirren.
Mhm.
That is not a movie that screams to me, oh, we have a small budget. This is one like Warner Brothers is like, let's push some shit forward. And I thought it looked amazing. I love David Zandberg as a filmmaker, and it's gonna be fun to see the cast, the grown up cast, because we only got to see them a little bit in the first film.
Yeah.
And also, I just think it's so funny because I watched I watched the OC, so like when seeing what's his name, Adam Brody as the grown up Freddie Freeman, I'm just like, oh my god, that's like stuff for the superhero. It's iconic. And Ross Butler, the original Reggie from Riverdale. And so I'm the one thing I'm definitely curious about, because you're talking about like how they're not going to explain the costumes changed. And what I'm curious about is the fact that because can you bring up that image one more time?
Yes.
So let's look at Mary Marvel. She is now being played by the same actress who plays the teenage version. So I wonder if in this mythology, again, I don't know much about the Shazam lore, but I wonder, because she was, I think, 17 in the first film. I think when maybe what happens is when you turn 18, you get to pick what your Shazam form is going to be, and that's why she still looks like herself. Because that's the part where I'm like, again, I loved Mary in the first film, so I have no problems with that. But I'm just like, what does it mean for like power setting wise? Like, does that mean that when Asher Angel's Billy Batson, like when he turns 18, can he is the point that he can decide to look what he wants to look like, or is he like per automatic just gonna look like Zachary Levi?
It's a good question. I never really thought about it because
I'm
they
thinking
did.
way too much about it. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay because I think it's interesting, but I think it would be very jarring. Hypothetically, we get a Shazam 3, which I don't think is going to happen, that we wouldn't have Zachary Levi as Shazam, right? Like if they just stuck with the actor who plays him, obviously when he's not Shazam. And because I'm assuming the actor is either close to 18 or something at this point or getting up
20 years
there.
old.
Yeah, he's already over 18. So the idea of like, okay, so he's going to be in the suit now. It's going to be very jarring. And honestly, like it's an interesting point because a lot of the other characters that of course turn into the Shazam family, they're younger and they definitely don't look like this. Like they definitely look like they're kids still. So I think for Mary, like that made sense because of the age of the actor. Because I think in the first one they kind of got away with it, but because it was only a little bit in the film. But I think that the Shazam family has a heavy presence, that having her shift to being also in the costume, they couldn't get around it because it would be really obvious. Because of course in Shazam 1, they're in the third act very little. So it's not like they have a huge role to play. So they got away with it. But in this case, I mean, it's been a number of years. The Shazam came out in 2019, and this film was delayed heavily until 2023 when they could have released it last year, but whatever. And at one point, I think they were or something. Yeah, they were. Like they had a December release.
This was supposed to be a Christmas movie.
Yeah, so they pushed it back. So I think, at the end of the day, I like the trailer. Some people are saying online that it showed too much. We don't know because we haven't seen the film. So we don't know the context of a lot of it. It felt like a lot of it was from the same actor in terms of the same fight, but we don't know because a lot of those fight sequences could be look like they're all connected, but they're separated in terms of time in the film. But yeah, overall, I'm glad we got another trailer, and now we're diving.
I like the twist that the daughters of Atlas can actually take their like Shazam forms.
Yeah,
I do wonder how the original Shazam is back, because he died in the first one. He's like pissed, like I spent all millennia trying to find the ultimate champion. You did this shit. Fuck you, boy. Get the fuck out of here.
exactly.
But no, it looks again. It looks great, and I just hope that they do explain a little bit about like, hey, how do we change the suit? Like, was it something from the Rock of Eternity or something like that?
I hope they find something because David said that there's no explanation. So I'm like, okay.
I wonder if he's trolling us or not. Like,
He could be.
You know what's interesting is And Fia, like Rachel Zegler's character, like she seems to be the one that like may not be as evil. She seems to be very much on like, I don't really want to destroy the world, but like you bitches are forcing me to do so.
Maybe
Um,
it's possible. It's
but
possible.
I mean, I still think it's amazing that Lucy Liu and Helen fucking Mirren is in the DCU. Like, they look so good too.
Yeah.
But
Some negative news.
oh crap! It says okay.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure 100% what's going on. I saw
Okay.
a headline. I don't know what's going on with
So
this.
here's what's going on. Okay. Do you guys love the CW? Because they don't love you. And the Hall Reporter revealed last week. Okay, so here's what's been happening for the last couple of weeks. So a couple of weeks ago, the Hall Reporter revealed that they on January 11th they reported that the network was expected to pick up fewer than 5 U.S. scripted originals. And that is because of Nexstar's focus on wanting to shift its business model to profitability. But then, only like a couple days ago, another report from Hollywood Reporter came out where it now has been changed that CW is expected to only have 3 U.S. scripted shows, and that includes the now already renewed All American, which will be renewed for season 6. We don't know if it's the final season yet or not. So if these reports are to be true and accurate, that means only 2 shows will survive this season that are either airing right now or about to start airing. And as you guys probably have noticed by now, because right now we're in pilot season, and there's shit. There's been no shit about CW pilots this year. So whatever shows we have right now is what we're getting. So, well, good thing I didn't invest any stocks in the CW.
Especially now. Maybe a couple years ago would have been smart, but not now. Maybe.
All right. So let's play the guessing game. So we have this still left. The shows are still left. Is the Winchesters, which is the premiere this year. Walker Independence. Kung Fu, which is in the middle of its season right now. Then there is Nazareth and Riverdale are ending. So there's Walker Independence, All American Homecoming, The Winchesters, Kung Fu, Superman Lois, and Jordan's favorite show, Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
6 shows. I feel Walker is definitely going to be safe. And then I think it's a toss between Kung Fu and Winchesters, because I think they still want to have a show that is kind of like not like regular TV, as I think they're probably calling it by now. What do you think of these? Which of these 6 shows do you think are going to survive?
Well, I think it's interesting. All American was renewed.
Well, it's the biggest show on the CW right now.
Okay, I was unaware of that. I don't keep up with the numbers. But that's interesting. But if this is true that it's 3 shows and it includes the renewal of All Americans, that means there's only 2 surviving. I think your theory and your suggestion of Walker, that makes a lot of sense, because the spinoff Walker Independence, I don't think has a shot. I don't know, but I know for sure, like Walker, like they probably want to stick with that show. I'm not sure how well it does, but it's been going for multiple seasons. It had a spinoff show, so it must be successful enough to warrant to keep it. So I would think Walker's a safe bet. From there, I don't know. People can probably say Superman and Lois. I just don't think it's going to happen, because of the fact that they are very keen on lowering their cost, and the production of Superman and Lois is probably more expensive than Walker All American. Probably, I'm assuming, based on the effects and all that. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Superman and Lois is not going to get picked up. I think Kung Fu is a safe third option if you're going to keep Walker. So if this is to be believed, then yes, there's a lot of shows that are going to be axed, if you will, by Nexstar. Nexstar has their own acts, apparently. If it's Yeah, exactly. That's Nexstar. Put Nexstar's logo over his head. But
no,
if
you put Nexstar in the glasses.
oh, okay. But if you were to say the 5 shows, if it's 5 shows, if that report is true over the 3, then there's more wiggle room. But I think Superman and Lois has no shot of being saved. I feel like it just doesn't have any shot, because if they're really cutting that far down in terms of their how many shows they're keeping on the network for now, there's no guarantee these shows are lasting another year after if they get saved this year. There's no chance they'll survive the next year, because if Nexstar is trying to go the route of making content that like literally costs them no money to make, just like what Discovery does with all their Food Network shows that cost them no money to make them, and they just constantly keep putting out these shows from Food Network because it costs no money, then Nexstar is going to go that route too, it seems pretty clearly, based off of them golf and some sort of NASCAR Indy, some sort of reality thing or some sort of whatever.
Golf.
Yeah, golf. Like, so that's the route they're going with. So there's no chance Superman Lois is going to get saved. Gotham Knights.
And here's a note as well to remember is that out of these 6 shows, 4 of them are Berlanti shows.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way in hell that they're going to go with the most expensive Berlanti shows in there.
No.
And the thing is, the Winchesters, because here's the thing. Winchester is from Jensen Ackles, which the has had a long relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I feel like, if anything, like Winchester I feel Winchester will be safe. It has to be between Kung Fu or Winchester. I think is like one of those odd shows, or like one of those genre shows. I mean,
yeah, I don't think Independence has a shot. I think the only thing you can do with Independence is if there were to, just like with the show Yellowstone, which I'm not sure if you've ever seen the show, they've had these further along the show has gone, Yellowstone, they've had flashback sequences to like a couple decades earlier with the same characters but different actors. But I know Walker Independence is not that, but they could hypothetically, if they wanted to have some sort of, because I think there's some sort of connection to the characters of Walker Independence and Walker.
I think Kat McNamara plays Jared Padalecki's mom in the prequel.
Oh, mom, it's that far? Wait,
what do you think? What do you think this is?
Well, I thought Walker Independence was like 100 years or something before.
Walker's Independence takes place in the 1800s.
Yeah, so Walker is taking place in modern day. So Walker Independence would be like, I'm not sure. I guess he plays like a relative or something in the past. But I'm saying, like, what if they were to do something where Walker Independence, like, they got that cast to shoot some stuff during a Walker season that would tie in maybe narratively somehow, or it's just another storyline you're kind of following, kind of like how on Arrow where you had flash forwards or flashbacks, you know, they had some of the same actors. But you get my point. Like, what if they were to do that but I think that wouldn't be cost effective. So I feel like Walker Independence is going to be on the chopping block. Gotham Knights is dead on arrival. Nexstar is destroying the CW.
I feel Walker will be. I looked at the Walker's numbers for the season; they're pretty good. So I think Walker is safe. Also, it's very white, so this will go perfectly with Nexstar. Kung Fu and Winchester are kind of tied in ratings. Walker Independence is like it's dipping. And then what else is there? Let me check, because I'm actually generally curious, because the thing is I don't pay attention anymore to the other CW shows. That show that hasn't premiered yet. Let me look at Homecoming. Homecoming, yeah, I think it's a toss up. But the thing is, Homecoming has an advantage that Winchester and Kung Fu doesn't, which is Homecoming airs on has a Netflix deal, so that's an extra source of revenue. Whereas Kung Fu is on HBO Max, and I think the Winchester is probably going to be there too. So it's yeah, I know.
Toss up, yeah.
I'm also having to remind myself. This is how tired I am that I'm forgetting that. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm almost like forgetting what is it I'm allowed to say these days. What is it I'm actually allowed to say? So we should probably just move to the next topic.
Okay.
But this is good news. So this is more exciting news.
Yeah, but it may be it is exciting, but it might be like a last hurrah thing because there's no season 4. I'm 99.9% sure. But we have an iconic villain joining Superman and Lois. We have our Lex Luthor. And no, it is not John Cryer. That is Michael Cudlitz, who, of course, has been in a variety of things, including The Walking Dead. And you're like, that's the guy with the handlebar mustache from The Walking Dead. Yes, that is him. That is him in a more modern images. And we have a little bit of a description here about his Lex, saying that he is, of course, known to the world as a visionary billionaire behind LexCorp. Shocker? Not shocking. But the criminal underworld knows who Lex truly is, a brutal psychopath who terrorizes anyone he crosses paths with. When Lex debuts this season, it's been years since he dropped out of the public eye, and he's reemerging hell-bent on correcting a personal injustice by enacting revenge on the 2 people he feels has wronged him, Superman and Lois Lane. So when this news came out, first of all, I like the fact that Michael actually confirmed it, because this could have been stuck as just a rumor, but obviously it was reported on. He tweeted about it, and I feel like this is pretty big, significant news. For me personally,
all the Walking Dead actors are joining the Superman and Lois.
Yes,
So.
that's the announcement. All the Walking Dead actors are just moving over to Superman and Lois. I have faith he's going to do a good job. He is a great actor. He has been a lot of things. He's been working in the business for a long time, and I feel like Michael is going to crush. I mean, even though this is not going to be what he looks like. I mean, just seeing that shot, even though he's probably not going to have hair, I can definitely see him as Lex. And the thing is too, we've already had a variety of Lexes throughout DC over the last number of years. We've had, of course, from Titans, which that was one appearance, but still he didn't look like Lex necessarily in terms of the long beard, but he crushed it. John Cryer surprised a lot of people because John Cryer came in. People were like, really? John Cryer? Really? But
Alan from the 2.5 Men?
But
I'd rather have Charlie Sheen play Lex.
Exactly. But he did
good. Oh my
good.
God. Could you imagine if Charlie was Lex? Oh my God. That would have
Tiger blood Lex. But once again, just seeing that shot right there, like, yeah, I could definitely see him being Lex for sure. And the fact is too, we're actually getting Lex is great, because imagine if the show went on and never had Lex Luthor. It'd be so odd. And I understand Superman stories don't need to have Lex, but for how long the show's been going on now, with now being in its 3rd season, yeah, you kind of need Lex. You kind of do at some point. And if, like I'm saying, I don't think we're getting a season 4, guys, and color me shocked if they announce season 4, but I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. So it makes sense to bring in Lex now, because you got to have him there at some point. But how do you feel about this casting? Have you seen him previously in anything? And do you see him as Lex when you see that image? Do you see it?
A good question. Have I seen? Because I don't watch Walking Dead, because I rather eat rabbit poop than watching Walking Dead. Have I seen?
It's a lot. I don't blame you.
Have I seen? Look at his IMDb. Like, no, I don't. Wait a minute, is he from Southland?
I don't know. I don't know all that he's been in.
He played someone named Gunn. I think that's probably where I've seen it, because I've seen a few episodes of that show. But I think this is like, kind of, physically, it's probably like the most like biggest Lex we've ever seen. I don't know if he's going to be bald or not, but I look forward to see what he will do with Lex. I mean, I think what's been great with these, with Michael Rosenbaum, John Cryer, Titus Welliver, everyone's, they are doing different things with all their Lexes, and I think that's the way it should be. Because I think, if we're just stuck to one and the same type of incarnation, then it gets boring. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested what kind of history they have in this universe, because I know they mentioned Lex is mentioned at some point in season 1, but like they don't make it sound like as if he's like around, or I mean, they don't make it sound like he's dead, but they never really say, he's like he's a looming threat for us right now.
Yeah, like they've been very specific on not addressing Lex in the series, which I hope they have. I mean, they said that he's dropped off the public eye, but I'm curious what was the personal grudge? What happened? I'm assuming he knows Clark or Superman and all that stuff. I'm assuming he knows.
See,
that.
I think that's what's I think that's what they're gonna have him discover this season. Like, I wouldn't be talking.
Okay.
It would be so, because the thing is, like, Lex finding out that he's Superman, that's not something you just do off screen. Like, I ideally don't like. That's why it was so amazing when, you know, in season seven, where when Lex finally discovered. That's why that season 7 finale is as powerful as it is, because he goes, Jordan, you need to fucking watch this show.
You already spoiled it though. But
I think Michael's going to do great, and
Yeah.
hopefully, because the thing is, I'm going to avoid listening to what his voice sounds like. I want to hear him in a trailer for the first time when he talks to his Lex. So, like, I'm going to avoid, unless CW is just like, can you interview him? I'm like, oh Jesus, fuck, okay, we'll do it.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you watch him in The Walking Dead, he has a Southern accent, but if you hear him in interviews, he's got a good voice, and I feel like he could definitely pull Lex. You know, actually, because after the casting announcement, I actually listened to an interview he did, which was a couple years ago, and I'm like, yeah, he could play Lex. He could definitely do it. And so, yeah, I think this is good casting. And some people are like, oh, what are they thinking? Like, they got a good actor. Like, that's what you want.
And look how wrong everyone was when everyone was John Cryer, and then he was like one of the he was the saving grace of Supergirl season 4.
No one else can say that.
Yeah, like no one. Like, season 4 was. Let's move on. Oh Lord, well, let's go back to some bad DC news. So,
oh boy.
After a lot of concern, speculation, and what have you, HBO Max announced this week that Titans and Doom Patrol will be ending after their ongoing season 4, part 2 of respective season 4. We don't know when they're going to air on HBO Max, but we have a statement from a random HBO Max spokesperson. I guess they want to remain anonymous. While these will be the final seasons of Titans and Doom Patrol, we're very proud of these series and excited for fans to see their climatic endings. We're grateful to Blended Productions and Warner Bros. Television for making such thrilling, action-packed, heartfelt series. We thank Titan showrunner Greg Walker, executive producers Greg Berlanti, Akiva Goldsman, Sarah Schechter, Jeff Johns, Richard Hatem, and the team at We Wrote Pictures. For Doom Patrol, we celebrate showrunner Jeremy Carver and executive producers Greg Berlanti, Sarah Schechter, Jeff Johns, Chris Dingus, and Tamara Rebecca Wilkinson. For 4 seasons, fans have fallen in love with the Titan and Doom Patrol, investing in their trial and tribulation and in their legendary battles, saving the world time and time again. And so there's been a couple different reports going on here with this, and so I'm gonna switch to. I have some. Don't have Asperger's because I have like 60 tabs open right now. So and this actually comes from my good friend Joe at Variety. Shout out to him. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, both production were aware that these would be their final season some time ago, and thus both will have definitive endings. That same individual stressed that these decisions were not part of the infamous cost-cutting decisions undertaken since the Warner Bros. Discovery merger under David Zaslav that has seen a number of parts scrapped, including the nearly completed Batgirl film. Then let me go to Deadline because they had also something to say. Well, fuck you. That was not it. Never mind. Okay, so actually, for once, the trades are actually staying consistent with each other. We have some statements from the showrunners. From Greg Walker, who runs Titans. I'm immensely proud of our gifted cast, crew, and writing staff, and their efforts in bringing to life all 49 episodes over the last 5+ years. I couldn't have asked for better partners in Blended Productions, Warner Bros. Television, HBO Max, and from the beginning, Jeff Johns and Akiva Goldsman. I'm incredibly grateful for their unyielding trust throughout this process. Lastly, I have to thank our incredible fans for their continued support, engagement, and the passionate community built around our show. We have 6 episodes left to unleash upon the world that we hope will give our beloved characters the creative closure we all know they deserve. And then Jeremy Carver, who's a showrunner of Doom Patrol, said to our wonderful supporter partners at HBO Max, Warner Bros. Television, Blended Production, and DC Studios, that's okay. Thank you for indulging of these past 4 seasons. Also, what were you smoking? To our brilliant I'm not kidding. This is literally what it said. Also, what were you smoking? To our brilliant cast, indomitable crew, fearless writing staff, and most of all, to our beautiful fans, thank you all the more. You made this a once-in-a-lifetime ride. Then we also have James Gunn having been attacked like crazy on social media because everyone thinks he's somehow responsible. So let's clear this up. And I need a drink. We'll be right back after this sip. Damn, it's good. So James Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios and filmmaker, he does not have the power to go tell networks what shows have to go and get canceled. He does not have, especially these shows were not even part of his regime. These existed long before he came. And then also, I ended up, I didn't think he was going to answer, but I literally asked him this question on Twitter. I have a question I'm genuinely hoping you can answer. Even though you had no one with Titans Doom Patrol ending, if you had wanted to incorporate those shows for your DCU, would that option have been within your jurisdiction or no? Hope you can answer. And then James just out of nowhere went, sure, Andy. What characters, performers playing those characters we keep in DCU would be my and Peter's call. Peter as in Peter Safran. But that doesn't mean we can keep any TV show running indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear that, Legends fans?
You just can't keep running shows.
I'm sorry. Okay, so where do we start with this? You don't watch Doom Patrol, so you don't give a shit. You watched Titans.
I watched the first 3 episodes. I watched the first 3 episodes of season 1 of Doom Patrol. I did watch it a long time ago when it first aired. It wasn't for me. It was too just out there. I didn't have time. But it's unfortunate the show's ending. But if it's true that they knew ahead of time that they were ending, so at least they knew that this was it. So they could wrap it up properly versus they shot a season and they weren't told and they're screwed. We saw what happened to Legends of Tomorrow. We saw what happens when you don't prepare for the ending and you weren't notified of the ending. I'm not shocked. It's also the ending of the DC universe era. If you think about it, I think, no, because Harley Quinn's still going. But DC Universe, we had Stargirl, which then ended up being half split.
The streaming server. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? I was like,
DC Universe. The Stargirl was they split that half, of course, with CW and the streaming service. They had Doom Patrol Titans, and they had Harley Quinn. And I think, was there something else they had to? The Swamp Thing, that was canceled after episode 1 aired. But Harley, Young Justice. Well, what's happening in that show? So Harley Quinn's the only consistent thing that's still continuing from that era of DC where they tried to make their own streaming service as of right now, unless Young Justice gets a season 5, which I have no faith. And just
the longer it goes, the worse it gets.
Yeah, just announce that it's fucking canceled. I'm tired of sitting around waiting. It's the same thing with Orville season 4. I'm tired of fucking waiting about that. So it's unfortunate, but at least the shows did have an ending in place because they were notified ahead of time, and they got 4 seasons. Both shows got a respectable 4 seasons. Not a lot of shows can say they got 4 seasons. There's the look at Netflix. You get 2 seasons, you're done. You weren't even told, you're done. So they got 4 seasons. They started off on a small streaming service that was not outside the United States. I know that Netflix had an international deal with Titans. I don't think Doom Patrol had that. But then they moved over to HBO Max. They were getting a heavy push on HBO Max when they moved over and everything. The shows, had their run. And the whole thing of him answering the question about it'd be up to their decision who they wanted to keep, I feel like you can't, because you're going to have to use Ian Glenn as Batman if you're going to keep some of the cast from the Titans era or whatever, if you could do that. And
I mean, let's look at it from another angle though, is that if he wanted to, let's say if he wanted to bring in Brendan Fraser as Nightwing, he doesn't have to bring the one from Earth 9. He could say that, here's his doppelganger.
Yeah, and that's fine, because Superman and Lois did that. Like, it's the same actors, but they decided to flip it the different Earth. But the way he answered the question is like, if they wanted to keep those characters or actors, like, you couldn't keep those exact versions. You'd have to say, okay, even though it's the whole debate still continues on about Daredevil or whatever, it's like they brought Charlie Cox into the mix in the MCU. So it's like they could bring in and have him play Nightwing. That'd be great. It just couldn't be the same Nightwing from Titans. But I think that'd be great if they brought him over because I feel like he loves playing
They
the
could, but
character.
they could, but it's a bigger headache. So it's easier to just be
Yeah.
like,
So
he's just
just
saying that I can't just go and say, hey, Amazon, do you want Titan season 5? Do you want Jungle season 5? Do you want Doom Patrol season 5? He can be like, he could take the characters
yeah.
and then of course, if he wanted to talk to the showrunners of like, hey, what would be natural to do with these characters in these movies or something, he
Mhm.
could. But it's like, yeah, I'm glad he answered that because I think that again, it's like I think there's a misconception of that James Gunn and Peter Safran can just. First of all, no one is bringing up Peter's name. I think it's a little unfair that James gets all the blame. But it's like again,
Yeah.
he came in 2 months ago, but 2 months ago, all the shit was already happening. So it's like again, and again, I'm not trying to single out like for example Legends fans or anything like that. But this is again, he can probably take in your characters, but he can't give you a season 7. Like if you were to see White Canary again, you would have to see White Canary, Kate Lots as part of whatever James Gunn's new project is that isn't Legends Tomorrow, because Legends Tomorrow was never his project. So it's
he's not gonna do that. He's gonna use Black Canary. He's not gonna do this whole route of using Katie Lots and a White Canary whole thing. It's not gonna happen. But
yeah.
like the people lost their jobs. It's unfortunate and it sucks. But at least they had a finite ending. They were able to end on their run. Well, Doom Patrol still. Like they haven't aired part 2, right, of season 4.
Neither shows have.
I know Titans. I just wasn't sure about Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
At least you still have some episodes left, and they do have some sort of conclusion. The unfortunate truth, and even though, like I said, James Gunn, it's unfair that they're throwing him under the bus and not giving Peter any crap. It's because Peter Safran's not on social media. It's James Gunn. He's the one who's been
doing the right. He's doing the right call.
Yeah, he's the one going on and saying all this stuff. But the thing is that the truth is this: the era of DC that we knew in terms of the TV shows over the last number of years and the movies are done. We're going to be seeing a new era, and it's not because James Peter came in and would start cutting stuff left and right. These 2 shows were ending months ago. It's just like they weren't announcing it yet, but now they are. Now, should they have waited till after the season's aired? Maybe, maybe not, depending on your interpretation of when is the right time to announce a cancellation and when's the time to announce the shows are ending. You know,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think they generally knew that these were going to be the finals. I think what it was more of, hey, if we don't know if you're going to be back for season 5. Whatever season finales you guys make, try to wrap up as much stuff as you can. I don't think these finales we're getting were the envisioned series finales they all had. I think it's the same thing that happened to Stargirl, where like they had 100. Okay, we may not come back, so let's make sure that we have as much wrapped up as possible, and then if we come back, we can do more stories. Because it's not like the titles are gonna like disband and the Doom Patrol just like Doom Patrol do whatever Doom Patrol does. So I don't think I do not talk for a second. Let me see what I can actually say. I'll be right back.
Okay, he'll be back. So basically what I'm trying to say is that this era of DC content is over, because whether or not who canceled whatever, we're going to be seeing that slate. I'm hoping on Monday, because we're supposed to be getting some sort of idea of a slate, a version of a slate, and before January ends, which is going to be next Tuesday. That's the last day of the month. I know my mom's birthday is January 31st, the last day of the January, so I know when it is. So it's Tuesday. So I'm hoping we get some sort of slate, and then we'll get a better understanding of where the direction of DC is going. We'll get a better understanding of what's happening. But for right now, we don't have anything. You know, we don't have really anything to go off besides Superman. But these shows ending and being, you know, not renewing, it's unfortunate for the cast. It's unfortunate for the crew. It's unfortunate for everybody involved. But they got to do 4 seasons, unlike other shows that don't get that. So just whenever James Gunn decides to announce, and watch it be tomorrow, which I'm going to hate. Please don't do it tomorrow. But watch him do it tomorrow. But when the new slate comes, that's going to be the new era. And if you're not looking forward to it and you're really upset by what's all this, and I get it, it's not going to change anything. It's unfortunate. Like, it's happening right now with Netflix. There are people campaigning, and I applaud them, campaigning for Warrior Nun to be renewed for season 3. They got a billboard like across the street or whatever from the Netflix headquarters. It's not going to do anything. It won't. Okay. I'm pretty sure that the contracts have lapsed for those actors, and that show's not coming back. So all I can say is if you're really a DC fan, mourn the past and embrace and get ready for the future, because James Gunn and Peter Safran are coming full swing, because they only have a 4-year contracts right now. They're going to start moving. So when that slate comes up, when they announce Superman officially, even though we know what's happening, when they announce a couple of other things this month, waiting for James, get ready, because they're going to start hitting you hard. And I'm betting some of these projects are going to come out in 2024. Probably mid. They're probably going to give it a couple of months of after Aquaman. But yeah, this era of DC's coming to an end, guys, in terms of this. Of course, you still have comics. You still have that ongoing. But in terms of live action stuff and animation, it's shifting. So, yeah. So what cannot say? You can't say anything.
Okay.
That's okay.
All I can say is that I wouldn't necessarily, because you weren't the only one who thought that that this was like always planned as the final season. All I will say is that sometimes these kind of decisions can be made. Like, again, I think maybe they found that like in the middle of airing these seasons, because I only found out a couple of weeks ago. So, but what I will say is that sometimes when they say, there will be network and studio that will say, maybe you don't come back. Don't wrap up everything, but like whatever you started this season, we would highly suggest you wrap it up. And then if you come back, let's talk. Let's pitch us your new season. So, but yeah, are we the Q&A time?
Oh no, we got another topic.
Oh, another one. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yes. So guys, we're gonna dive into a controversial topic. To me, it's not controversial, but to some it may be. So we're going to dive in here. We are talking about the rampant cancellation online, especially Twitter and on TikTok as well, of Hogwarts Legacy. There has been a number of people that have said that if you support Hogwarts Legacy in any capacity, whether it's purchasing the game, streaming the game, which I think that's the same thing, because if you purchase the game, you can stream it. Even if you pirate the game, you're a bad person. You're supporting a certain ideology that is the same ideology that is the creator of Hogwarts, creator of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, and basically condemning anybody who wants to purchase this game and wants to play it, that you are a bad person. You are a transphobe, because J.K. Rowling is against trans people. I'm not sure the right way to say that, because I don't talk about this kind of stuff. So I wanted to bring this up because I did a video, and not to brag, it just shows how rampant the discussion has been. I made a video on TikTok, and I did upload it to YouTube the next day. My version on TikTok has over 1.5 million views, and it has, and let me actually double check this to verify the actual amount of comments that is on this video. So the amount of comments as of the recording of this drama and controversy. There's me talking. Almost
copyright notice.
Almost 17,000 comments on the video. 149,000 likes, almost 150,000. The video was about this whole situation. And it's because I do not believe if you purchase Hogwarts Legacy that you are a transphobe. I don't believe that. I believe that if you are a fan of Harry Potter, and if you're a fan of the films, the books, you just like what the game looks like, you want to be a wizard, you want to run around and explore Hogwarts, you should be able to buy the game and not be labeled a certain word, or you're being told you are a certain thing. Because yes, J.K. Rowling created Harry Potter. However, that doesn't mean if you support it that you align yourself with her beliefs. Where's everybody canceling at Universal Studios? Where's everybody canceling the Hogwarts, Diagon Alley theme, like the whole entire Harry Potter theme park, a part of Universal? Where's all the people canceling people going to that nonstop and buying wands and buying outfits and going on rides and buying butter beer and buying all the candies? Where's all the cancellation of all the families that go and do that? Oh, wait, there isn't any, because all you're complaining about is a video game that they have stated since the beginning J.K. Rowling had no work on it whatsoever. Sure,
No,
she'll get
she didn't work on the story. Like
Yeah.
they probably had to talk to her. Like it's like when you have to when you talk to the Tolkien estate, they had to let them know what were when they were doing the Lord of the Rings movies and now the TV show and so on. But it's like it's not like I don't think J.K. Rowling literally sat down, wrote a game script for Des, and decided these are like, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, she will definitely get royalties from this. She is, she is the creator and owner of Wizarding World, whatever it's called. But again, it's like there is, I don't know how many people you work at creating these games, but like thousands of people who worked their asses off to make this game and so on. It's not, but saying that my perspective is this, I have really right now, I don't even know if right now my finances are not even that good, so I don't even buy stuff for myself that often. So I understand both sides. Honestly, I really do. Like she's a horrible person. She's a terrible human being. It blows my mind that someone who was able to create such an amazing, beautiful world like Harry Potter is capable of so much hatred inside. I mean, maybe that's why she created Voldemort, because she imitates life. But to go and say to everyone, you're a transphobe, you are this and that because you bought the game. Are you? So, for example, let's say this. Let's say a kid is wanting to get this game for their Christmas or birthday or whatever and so on. If they play that game, is that kid considered a transphobe? No, they don't even know what the concept of that is yet, because their brains are not fully developed. So again, this is definitely a complicated issue, because yeah, she gets part of our money when we buy something for Harry Potter. But I think also Jordan makes a good point that if we truly hated Harry Potter, if this was truly something Harry Potter we're paying on Harry Potter, then Wizarding World should be over. The Universal theme parks, all of it.
Yeah, because she gets paid more in that than you would a video game. Like, and there's this whole argument online too that because people made the argument about all the workers who worked on the game, saying that, well, they're going to get damaged. They're saying, well, they get paid salary, so they already got paid for their work. However, there have been countless stories of gaming studios that have put out a game that underperforms, that doesn't do well, and the company goes under and people lose their jobs. So I'm not sitting here saying support the game to support those creators because you don't want them to lose their job, but I'm saying if you want to run around and be a wizard or a witch, whatever, you want to run around. And the thing is, I heard too that there is no gender selection. You just pick a wizard or witch and you can just be whoever you want in the game character creation. Like, they made that a part of the thing. So you can be whoever you want. So the thing is, if you just want to run around and use a wand and go crazy, and they even people love the fact that you can torture students. You can use the vodka Vera. You can use all the cursed spells and just torture students and go crazy and be like Voldemort. People are going to do it. But if you want to, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're this, and this if you support the game. Am I going to get the game? Probably. Don't know when. But it's not because I support J.K. Rowling. It's because I want to be a fucking wizard. Like, I literally responded to a comment of like that on TikTok where someone said, I just wanted to be a wizard, ... Like their response is simply like, why is there so much stuff around this? I get it, because like you said, she has a certain viewpoint that is ridiculous and she should just keep her thoughts to herself. But she openly just talks about it all the damn time. But the thing is that I grew up on Harry Potter. Like, you're expecting me to completely disregard what got me into reading, because I read those Harry Potter books, like those gigantic books, especially later on, and they got bigger and bigger. You expect me to just drop off Harry Potter, where I loved growing up watching the films, loved reading the books. I went to Potter or whatever, Universal, a number of years ago. I went there. It was awesome. Got butterbeer. It was great. But you expect me to drop everything Harry Potter related because of the creator's opinions. Like, I get it. If you believe that, that is fine. But do not come here and tell me what I am or what I am not. Because at the end of the day, not to get too specific about politics or my personal beliefs outside of what I normally do on my channel, I don't care what the fuck you do with your life. I don't care what you believe in, what you want, what you are, what you think you are. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Just stay out of my business. Just do what you want. I don't care, because don't come over here to me messing with me and telling me shit. I'm not going to go over here and tell you and mess with you and do shit. If Andy decided to come on here hypothetically and say he wanted to be a woman and he wants to, okay.
You mean transition?
What? Yeah, if that's what you want to do, I don't care, because that's your life. I'm going to live my life. You live yours. That's all I'm saying. So that's my whole point. I don't care.
Let me flip this to something that I think all of us can, because if this is the viewpoint we have on with J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter, then we all of us, let's go to the fact that almost all of us in here are connected to the Arrowverse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like saying this man's name, but I have to, just to make a point. Andrew fucking Kreisberg.
Good
Arrow,
point you're pulling here. Yeah.
The Flash, Supergirl, Let Us Tomorrow. He co-created these 4 shows. Even after he was fired, he's still a creator of those shows.
Did he still get paid?
Probably, yeah,
because he has the credits. So
yeah, he gets credit. I mean, there's listen. He's a white man in Hollywood. He will be fine. What I'm saying though is that because he had this allegation brought up against him. If for people who don't know, just Google his name. You can find it. We don't need to go through that because it's heavy subjects. But if we're gonna say you are this type of person, if you buy Hogwarts Legacy, then we should all be guilty of supporting harassment, possible assault, toxic work environment people. So
that is,
but yeah, I'm podcasting about the Flash up until its 9th season. Jordan kept reacting to Arrow and the Flash for all these seasons after.
And you know why I did? I'm kidding.
Wait, I don't get the joke.
Because I support him. That was the joke.
Okay, so it's like again, it's like the problem at the end of the day. I know a lot of people don't. There's people who believe in this philosophy. There's people who don't believe in this philosophy. But that is, artists and person can be separated. Now, of course, if this artist, for example, murders someone, like obviously there's that. But again, Andy Kreisberg got fired. They appointed different showrunners to lead the shows, and we are still watching.
I will give you.
It's no different. It's no different.
It's not.
Than us buying Hogwarts Legacy, and then us watching the Arrowverse shows that are essentially, yes, Andrew Kreisberg may not create a Batwoman or Lois and Stargirl and Black Lightning, whatever. So, but like, he's a creator of this franchise that lived on until 2023.
And I will piggyback off your point, because I'm going to make a even further point to show how deep he was in the development of this. He was on Kevin Smith's podcast years ago, talking about the Flash, and he was given the timeline right. I remember listening to this years ago, and I actually went back a number of months ago to listen to it again because it was just fascinating. Even though I know he got fired and everything, I just wanted to hear him explain the story again, because he explained to Kevin how he was with Greg Berlanti writing an episode of Arrow, and they couldn't crack it, and they were having an issue with it. And then all of a sudden, Greg Berlanti turns to Andrew and says, in season 2, we're going to have Barry Allen show up, and then he's going to wake up at his own show. And then they went off and did that and started working on that and getting through Arrow and everything and building up to the Flash. This is how deep Andrew was in regards to these first number of shows of the Arrowverse. So you may say, well, it's not the exact same thing in terms of JK saying all this stuff and all that. Like, but the thing is this, he was so deeply involved, and I remember seeing his name still in credits of Supergirl episodes. Like when I would notice credits and stuff, I would notice his name. He was still being credited. So yeah, if you're it's I think the argument stands. I think because he was heavily involved in that. Now, obviously, he didn't create the Flash character, but the whole show was established because of what him and Greg did and had his work involved with Arrow and Supergirl and Flash. And it was his involvement. He was deep into it. And I remember like they had like that Paley Fest thing where Kevin Smith hosted, and they had like all the showrunners and actors up there. He was up there talking about some of these things as well. He was heavily involved in a lot of it. So,
and then we learned about these things that he did.
yeah.
And he did get fired. I don't know what exactly how much money he gets from these shows still, but like that man is never gonna have to be worried about paying his rent. But the thing is, we still are watching the franchise that he created essentially 85% of. So again, this is the sad part with entertainment. There's gonna be nasty eggs that will create things that we love. And then here's the thing. If you don't want to watch it anymore, if you don't want to play it anymore, or whatever, so on, that's fine. If you want to keep watching it, because again, you're supporting people who work on, if Cannagrass was here, I'm sure he can talk about how crew members work hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. People on craft service, costume department, lighting, and sound and everything. So it's like there's thousands of people who work on these shows. And again, it's like, I get it. Like, yeah, like J.K. Rowling fucking sucks. I haven't bought anything Harry Potter related in the last couple of years. Like, I had the movies many years ago. I still have the books from when I was a kid, and so on. If I see it streaming on HBO or something, and I want to watch something, I will watch it. But what I will say is that this is a very complicated subject, and at the end of the day, I can't fault anyone for being upset, but at the same time, it's like if someone comes and tells Jordan that he's a transphobe, that's not the case at all. Because again, J.K. Rowling, and J.K. Rowling did not sit down. Let's credit the people who actually work on this film. So the director is Alan Tew. One of the producers is James Cabrera. It was written by Maura Squire, and I don't see anything with J.K. Rowling there. Yeah, she will have it about because she's the creator of Wizarding World, but like, you can go ask her anything a spoilers about this game, and she probably is not gonna have any fucking clue what you're talking about. Her team probably does. So
yeah, but the thing is, at the end of the day, you guys believe what you want. If you don't want to support the game because of her beliefs, that's fine. Just don't expect others to do the same, and don't try to force it. Don't try to claim people are something that they're not because they want to buy the game. Now it's different if they're going around saying, I'm going to buy Hogwarts Legacy because I support J.K. Rowling and what she believes. That's different. But if they just want to run around and they grew up on Harry Potter, they want to run around and be a wizard and just like, I want to ride a broomstick. I want to ride around and see all of Hogwarts and go around and find all the secret rooms and shit. I want to do all that. And it's not because I support J.K. Rowling. It's because I want to play a fucking Harry Potter game. Because let's be honest, there's been a lot of Harry Potter games, like movie tie-in games, that sucked ass, that were terrible. And I know they have the Lego Harry Potter games, and those were fun, but I want to play a good Harry Potter game, and apparently this is good. So that's all I'm saying. Just don't force other people to believe what you want or to force them all this stuff. Don't call people names if it's not true, because you calling me that, like, that's laughable. That's funny. I'm gonna laugh you away because you are completely wrong if you call me something like that.
But with that said, I think let's try and move on to a more happier subject. Let's do Q&A.
Okay.
Also, let me check how many likes do we have?
How many likes we got, guys?
We got y'all only 16. Come on, there's like 40 of you in here. Come on now, what are y'all doing?
Let's get them likes up, guys. Come on, let's do some Q&A song. Q&A. Ask us questions or we'll fucking leave. A good song. I'm
trying to find the 40 likes banner.
Here. 40 likes. Let's get to 40 likes tonight, guys. Can we do it? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Endless Multiverse. Let's see here. A lot of people commenting. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. Let's get to 40 likes, everybody. 40 likes. 40 likes.
Episode 45.
It's crazy. 45 episodes. Well, technically there's been more, but we weren't together.
No, those episodes they are 0.5s.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, well, yeah, 0.5s, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't believe this, Aiden, but time for me to pitch a show Jordan will love. A Batman show, but the twist is it doesn't have Batman. That's every show. That's every show. Every show. Let's see. Here's a good question from Brian. Better for a superhero, single such as Batman or married such as Superman? Well,
I don't get the question.
like, would the superhero, like a single superhero or a married superhero, like what's better? Because I mean,
Batman has mental health issues.
Yeah.
So I would say it was probably better to be married like Superman.
I mean, yeah,
I think Batman needs help. And I don't mean it as like a ha. I mean as like genuinely caring.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you heard about this, Andy. Is that Andrea Riseborough? She was nominated for, I think, lead actor or lead actress, and they're saying there's controversy. They're actually doing an investigation over how she got a nomination.
Wait, what is it? Wait, how did she?
So apparently there was something to where she there was a number of actors that apparently people that worked on the film or was in connection to Andrea were getting in contact with certain actors who had a vote that was kind of pushing her at the last second to get the nomination in the Academy, and they were trying to figure out if her campaign was ethical. And I'm wondering, can they remove her nomination? Can they remove it if they feel like the way that she went about getting the nomination? Because apparently there was other people that were actually in the running to actually get the nomination over her, but all of a sudden she squeezed past them at the last second because she wasn't nominated for much stuff outside of this.
Well, I don't even know who she is. So
it was a film that barely got any attention, but all of a sudden some big name actors were pushing it before the announcement. I don't know.
Because I don't know anything about her. I'm just gonna choose not to comment on it because I don't want to speak out of turn when I don't even know what has happened and what's going on.
Gotcha. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome.
Hi, Jennifer.
Have you guys seen the HBO Watchmen show? I have not.
I started watching it and then I got really busy with stuff, but like I've heard a lot of good things about it and would love if Damon Lindelof came back to DC, did something. So
speaking of HBO, have you've seen the Harley Quinn show, correct or no?
So that's funny because so half of us on the Flash podcast have watched it, but me and Lacey we hadn't. So we started actually doing commentaries back last year when we during like the longer hiatuses.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I've seen at least like the first 6-8 episodes, I think. At some point I will try and catch up, but it seems amazing, and I know there's the special coming.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to catch up before that drops. I actually binged about 8 episodes this past week.
They're very short.
Yeah, they're short episodes. I got to the episode where they actually got Michael Ironside back as Darkseid for the episode he appeared in, which was really cool to hear him it's not the same. He's older, but it's still awesome to hear Darkseid. It was like crazy. So Spectacular Spider-Man, he had actually asked me if we were going to cover as a topic, and I decided against it and just kind of go with what we had tonight. But so they're developing a 2-man show, but they're also doing more than that. Apparently it came out that they're also developing tie-ins like with movies and video games interconnecting like the MCU. And I'm like, no, like the last Tomb Raider film didn't do very well at the box office. It didn't perform well. And my thing is, do not rush this shit again, because literally who's to say the Amazon show is going to be successful? Now it's going to have a lot of eyes on it because it's Amazon, because Amazon has a lot of users. So people are going to see it. But that doesn't mean that if you do an Amazon, because they're developing the show first, it seems. So they're writing episodes now. They're developing a film as well. It does not guarantee the film's going to be successful. It doesn't, because So, how successful was the Rings of Power? Do we know how successful that show was in viewership wise?
I mean, it did it did really really well, like because
Well, I
Amazon
guess
Prime is almost is almost in every country.
yeah. So I'm wondering if they were to do a Rings of Power film based on like not like covering these events again, like just in film form, but like if they were to do instead of another season, they did a film instead, how successful would it be? And I think the answer is not what you would expect. Because as I've told Andy before, and I think everyone kind of knows this, releasing a film in theaters is always a gamble. Even Marvel, it's a gamble. I mean, look, they thought Shang-Chi was going to do better, even though we were still coming out of the pandemic. Shang-Chi didn't do very well. Eternals didn't do very well. It's a gamble. Black Widow, of course, that was a whole nightmare situation with it going also to, $30 Disney Plus and all that. But it's like if the Tomb Raider film, it's probably not going to, unless they have the budget extremely low, because there is fans of the game. But they didn't go out to the last film that apparently was solid. I didn't see it, but apparently it's a solid film. It's better than apparently the Angelina Jolie ones. But yeah. What's a better comic story? This is for Jordan. Civil War, Dark Knight Returns.
I hate them both. So
well, I guess it just depends on what. It just really depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for a grizzled old Batman, or do you want to have two factioning sides in Marvel that have differing viewpoints on politics? They're two very different stories.
I guess I can call. I don't like. Sorry, because I think Frank Miller is an extreme writer. I love Batman Year One, but like Dark Knight Returns, I don't see the desire for it. What I will say, Civil War, because I love Spider-Man, is probably, but I also hate what they do to Spider-Man of having him go, outing himself to the world, and then everything bad happens to him afterwards because of Tony and Steve's fucking argument. So, so my answer is I tolerate Civil War, but if it's up to me, I wouldn't read either of them.
Gotcha. Fernando, you actually are correct. It did well, but it wasn't like, I don't think it made a profit. I don't think, or at least it wasn't a big profit. Worst opinion of all time.
We could be here for hours, Jennifer.
I don't know, Jennifer, but we're glad you're here, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. We're glad that you're here. We missed you because you were here almost every week at a point, and so
she was here every. I remember because
she was here.
There were times where she would send in so many super chats when we were like, so we're gonna wrap up. Okay, wait, hold on. There's another super chat. Okay,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, there'd be like times we're like, okay, guys, we're gonna wrap up. She's like, okay, here, super chat. I'm like, okay, and they're like, okay, we got to stay on.
Yeah. We always love super chat, so it's totally fine.
Super chats fills my dark heart. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Black Widow was bombed, but I mainly think that was because it was on Disney Plus. I think there's a lot of combinations. I also think it's the fact that movie came out a little too late. I think because by the time they came out, she's dead. Like, why would I miss in the movie when I know she's just gonna die?
I get that point, but also too, I think it's just because it was released. It was one of the first films, one of the first bigger blockbuster films to hit theaters after things started to open up again. And I think at the time too, a lot of people stayed at home and paid $30. Like they said, there was 50 or so million or something it made on its opening weekend or whatever. But that's 50. Then they would have only earned 50 extra million opening weekend. But the thing is too, you're talking about mostly a home that has maybe 3 or 4 or 5 people, families that paid $130 payment versus buying tickets that equals out to probably $50 or more for all those tickets. That would have been more money back to Disney after certain cuts. So it would have made more money than 50 million opening weekend if it wasn't the $30 thing. And the thing is too, when it going to Disney Plus, one person had to buy it for $30, and then they could record it and then throw it out for pirates. For pirates,
we don't endorse. We don't recommend.
We don't endorse.
That.
I'm saying that's what happened. Like that's the issue.
I'm just saying that a YouTube bot didn't probably watch.
Oh. Yes. Worst opinion of all time. Arrow season 4 is a great season of Arrow. You get out of here. You dirty whore. Kidding.
Jordan.
It's okay. And for a clarification on this adverse opinion of all time, it was when someone in chat said the Civil War comic book sucked. Oh. I'm gonna be that guy. Hate me if you want. They owe us that one last period of at least some Arrowverse.
Why? Why did it owe you? What is the show called? Is it called Justice League? Is it called Arrowverse?
It is.
Is it called Super Friends?
I talked to Eric Wallace. He's changing the name of the show for the final season. That's what he told me.
Do you know how much fucking money that would cost them? Like David Zaslav
to change the name. To change the name. Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
Lots of money.
They owe us. Scott, I think you're looking. Here's the thing. The show's called The Flash. I hope you're watching the show because of the Flash characters. They don't owe us anything. So.
They owe me everything.
No.
No?
No.
Come on.
Nope.
Gracie for life. Thank you, Charlie. Gracie. Let's see here. How shocked angry would you be if James Gunn announced that even though DC's rebooted, Jennifer Holland stays on as Emily Hogwarts? I don't think they would allow its favoritism. But she could play a different version of her in the DCU because it'd be a reboot. So, but like that's the whole thing. Like there was like you saw those photoshops of her head on Wonder Woman's body.
Yeah, I saw.
And it's so funny. Like I made the point. Like James would not be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, Peter Safran would go no. David Zaslav would say hell no because it's favoritism. He's allowing his wife to be one of the most iconic characters and a character that's going to be paid quite a bit the further she goes along in a contract as Wonder Woman in the DCU.
Yeah.
They're going to pay her a lot of money, which means it goes to James Gunn's house.
Yeah, and
they're not doing that.
There's also Warner Pictures groups, Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi. They also have a say in these things. So it's like,
yeah, this would never get past any. This wouldn't even get to David Zaslav to sign off. It wouldn't happen. Now, will Jennifer Holland play a lesser known character in this new DCU? Yes, she will, because James put, and I bet she has a role in Guardians 3. I don't think she was in Guardians 2, was she? I don't think
that would be interesting because wasn't Peacemaker season 2 also like a piece of season 1 like in? I never mind. I actually don't remember how.
Well, like she was in the Suicide Squad. She was in Peacemaker. She was in Black Adam. So you're going to see Jennifer in the new DCU. You're going to see her, but she's not going to be playing a major character. And people might also say too, because she has blonde hair, Black Canary. No, she's not going to play a major role like that. It won't happen.
She's not even play. Emilia isn't even a big character. She's one of the leads on Peacemaker.
I didn't even know that was her in Black Adam until someone pointed out after the fact. Like, oh, I didn't think about it. Like, oh, there's a character. Okay, it didn't click in my head. Because
I don't like that people are attacking her because they don't like what James is doing. That's
that's ridiculous. It's just the fact that she's able to, because she's already on set probably anyways for when he was filming Peacemaker and shit. It's like, well, we're gonna write her into the show, and then Black Adam they probably just.
Well, they announced the show with her.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying like she's playing a supporting role, but she wasn't like the main focus. It'd be different if they did a hardcore show. That's different. They wouldn't allow that. But when the DCU comes about, she's going to play a lesser known role. She's probably going to have a couple appearances or maybe one appearance if she plays a bigger role, but it's a one and done. And that's going to be it. I mean, more than likely, she's probably there helping James map all this shit out and probably doing her own.
She's not a producer. Why would she be helping him out?
Well, what I'm saying is
take two.
No, there was no take two. The point I was making is he's probably sitting there writing on a Superman script and probably asking her for advice and probably just asking, what do you think? Because she's an actress. She plays a different role. She's done other stuff. And the fact is too, her husband has a gigantic role. I'm not saying he's going to her with all like to give all of the opinions and it's all her decision, but she's probably sitting there, probably hearing him like talk about what's happening and what the plan is, and she's probably going, "Okay, well, that's cool." You know, she's probably just helping out and just giving advice if she's asked.
I love that you've created like this like whole like reality show of the Gun. Wait, what's it? The Holland Gunn like household of like how they operate their celebrities.
Well, we don't know because they.
But you sound so confident. That's what I think is so funny. I'm not trying to make fun of it. I just think it sounds. It
feels like it. I'm just making a point because her husband took on a gigantic role in DC after doing a film and doing a television series, and
your camera keeps freezing up. By the way.
No, yours is too. So I don't know what's going on.
It's StreamYard then.
Yeah. So the whole point I'm saying is like she's probably just being there to help him out, and it's probably stressing him the fuck out because he has not a lot of time to start getting rolling on shit. So, you know, if she's a supportive wife, of course she's gonna be supportive and try to help him. Yeah. Of course she doesn't have the job, but hey, when I'm doing my YouTube shit, it doesn't mean Shelby just kind of sits around and doesn't hear anything or doesn't talk to me about anything YouTube or whatever related. Like, and obviously his job is way more important than mine. So yeah.
Kevin Feige said a while back, Spidey and Daredevil would lead a street level side. You think they will team up in Spider-Man 4? It would shock me if they didn't.
Where did he say that?
Oh, he talked that I think it was Comic-Con where he said that Daredevil and Spidey are like now like they're like basically like the.
Well, first of all, we need Tom Holland confirmed for Spider-Man 4 first before we start talking about that.
Oh, come on. Does anyone really think he isn't signed on at this point?
But there's no announcement. You think they could?
They don't have to always announce that.
Well, they need to do something.
Says who?
Says me. I run this shit.
Well, you're not. Are you a rule book or you're a person?
Yes, I'm a rule book.
No, yeah, not crazy for life.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, I would. Okay, we're just gonna move on because my energy is running out of that. Wait, hold on. What it says? Would you guys rather be the person that wrote Batman and Robin and Man of Steel, or the Daredevil movie from the 2000s and the first Avengers movie? That is such a wow! What a combination. Well, given that the first Avengers movie was written by an asshole, I'd rather probably be the guy who wrote the Batman and Robin and Man of Steel. Also because the guy who wrote Batman and Robin, he worked on Titans. Akiva Goldsman. Sorry. Who would you rather be? The guy who wrote Batman, Robin, and Man of Steel, or the guy who wrote the Daredevil movie from the 2000s? Which, by the way, the director's cut of Daredevil is actually pretty good.
I'm going Daredevil and Avengers because I don't want to be known as writing for Batman and Robin. The thing was a dumpster fire. Jordan recasts Peter Parker for Secret Wars, and he casts Harry Osborn. Well, what? Okay, so
why do I have to be?
But why am I playing Peter Parker? No one knows me.
Why do I have to be the needy rich kid that like just whines all the time and then
I don't want to shave my face. Come on. The Marvels is gonna be amazing. It better be.
Yeah, I just want a trailer. Like no posters, no photos. There's nothing. I'm annoyed with this. I'm assuming they would be single. They wouldn't be married because wouldn't want to hook up.
They're both married with kids. Yeah,
I know. I said, but I'm assuming in this scenario they're not married. They're queer of some kind. I mean, probably a 6.
Replace Grant with God, what's his name?
David Ramsey?
Nope, I'm forgetting his name.
What character is he playing?
Tom Welling. So it's Steven. Or would you want Grant and Tom Welling? I don't know. I'm gonna go wait. Take Steven out, put Tom and Grant because I know you love Flash more. So
I'm probably like a good 9.
Now if we were to do Steven and Tom, would that
why are we doing this to me?
Because they asked you that question.
Okay. Fine.
It's okay.
Here's the thing for me because it's so because I've had so many interactions with Grant that it's like he's like a distant cousin at this point. That I like if someone asks me like, you want to fuck your cousin, I'm like, no, I want to fuck my cousin. And Steven, like, I mean, this isn't entirely false. Like, technically, physically, at 2019 Comic-Con, I did stand right in between Grant and Steven. When Grant, I think he thought I never met Steven. He decided to introduce me to Steven, like, as someone he knows. And I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I talked to you before. But, like, I was like, I didn't want to, I didn't want to kill his thunder. He looked so happy. He still has a photo of me on his phone somewhere. Like because he was like, for some reason, like before he took a selfie with Steve, he's like, "Why Andy first you and I?" I was like, "Oh, okay," because I'm not used to celebrities asking to take photos with me. So like somewhere on his phone or iCloud, or whatever, there's a selfie of us with me looking probably very awkward.
Wake me up inside. Terrible song. Hope Melissa Benoist is in the Flash. Is on the Flash too. I mean, it's possible.
They should do a zoom.
She just zooms in
from space, from
she's out in space somewhere. She's like,
Jupiter.
Like, hey,
and Barry's like, how the fuck are you calling me? She's like, oh, we got Wi-Fi here. No, it's actually called MiFi.
Here's a good question for you. If Titans had gotten a season 5, what would you like to see? I don't know. Because we don't know how I don't know how season 4 ends. I don't know.
At least a crossover with Doom Patrol somehow. I would bring in Wally and Victor and Roy. But honestly, I would end this season with the teenagers going off and becoming the Teen Titans, and the young adults remaining as the Titans. Yes.
I mean, that was the rumor for a long time. They were going to do that. I'm glad that I was glad I was let you know, Jennifer, that you had the recast. I mean, you can play whoever you want. Ooh, thank you, Scott, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Scott. Will Thrawn connect to First Order? Well, First Order is the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. They're like the Empire in the sequel trilogy. It's possible there might be some sort of connection because we don't know the exact time of when the Ahsoka series takes place with Heat, where he's in it. So we don't know how much of if there is any connection or any influence whatsoever. It's a good question, though. But I don't know. I think it could be because Thrawn probably is like living off of what was the Empire. It could because the Empire basically led into the First Order. We don't know exactly how, though, unless there was something in a comic or something. I'm not sure how if there's any explanation of from Empire to the First Order. But at some point there's a switchover. At some point in the downfall of the Empire to rise up again. But thank you for the question. Thank you for the super chat, Scott. Thank you so much for being the first super chat of hopefully more for the show. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you.
And we covered this last week. Star Wars is not my area of expertise. I just like when I ask Jordan something, I listen, and then it kind of goes out of my ear the next day. And
it's a lot. It's a lot. I get it because he watches other stuff. He covers like same thing for me. I forget a lot of shit too, guys. I don't remember this stuff. Like there's stuff that people bring up. Like remember this happened on the Flash? I'm like, no. But then, like, there'll be times I go back and rewatch like crossovers or stuff, or just random stuff from Flash or whatever, Arrow, and I'm like, I don't remember this exactly happening, but it did because there's so much stuff, you know.
We're at 32 likes.
Thank you guys for putting so much 32 likes. Thank you so much. Let's try to get the 40 likes.
This is a good question. What is the best MCU trailer? For me, it is the official trailer for Avengers Endgame. I watch it one constantly, even though I've already seen the movie.
That's a good question. You might have to give it to Infinity War. They had great trailers. I'm not sure which one. I think it might have been the second one, not the first one for Infinity War. It was more focused on Thanos. That was a good trailer.
The trailer where it ends with Cap fighting Thanos
that's the second one, I think. Yeah, the second trailer, I think. Because the first one had them all running to the camera with the Hulk in the back. Yeah. The second one. Other than that, I mean,
I think the last No Way Home trailer was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was good too. The thing is, there's been so many trailers. It's not MCU, but I got to give it a credit. It is Days of Future Past X-Men, the first teaser.
Oh,
That trailer is phenomenal. The first, like the opening, like the whole trailer is great, but the first like 20, 30, 40 seconds with the original cast and just these really cool shots of Storm and Wolverine, and of course it's voiced over by Patrick Stewart. Phenomenal trailer. And it's unfortunate.
what? Oh, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say it's unfortunate because it was released back in 2013. There is not a lot of reactions to it, and I hate that because it's a phenomenal trailer that I feel like if more people were reacting at the time, and me included, if I could have, you would have seen people going, "Holy shit!" because it was amazing. There's not a lot of reactions.
I remember I was because that was one of my last Hall H panels I went to. Because I remember I sat there when they had this, like there was this big table and there's the original cast and all the rookies, all the new ones. And it was a long table.
Yeah.
And I remember like I saw it and I sobbed so hard. It was seeing on a big screen is pretty sick.
Thank you, Scott, for the super chat. Thank you so much again for supporting the channel, for supporting the stream. Thank you, Scott. Or is Thrawn the threat in that 20-year gap? No, he's more of a threat to Rebels, to Ezra, not Ezra Miller, but to Ezra Bridger. I think is Bridger the name of the character? Anyways, but more of a threat to that. Like that's why specifically Ahsoka mentioned Thrawn in season 2 of Mandalorian when she's first introduced to that episode, because it's all tying in. This is another World War Titanic, Avengers Endgame, and Avatar, all flops, but they're all still critically acclaimed. You can choose to write one of them. Which one are you picking?
Well, Titanic is based on real events, so
I'm doing Endgame.
I'd probably do Endgame too.
Yeah, phenomenal. Loved your Megan review. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. I wish more people would have seen it. I'm gonna try to push it more this weekend, but I'm glad I watched the movie. It was fun. Who doesn't? Well, I get your point about the Russo brothers coming back. It won't be the same, but we need like they're probably burning out. They did so many films with Marvel. They did 2 of the biggest Avengers movies up to this point. So, what are we gonna click on?
33 likes.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna click on anything.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Let's get them.
I mean, I think that the MCU has done. I'm glad that the MCU has gone into different directors again. Like I mean, look, Spider-Man: No Way Home did perfectly fine without the Russos. Wakanda Forever did pretty good. Shang-Chi did pretty good. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness did pretty good. And we had fucking Sam Raimi doing that. No, I've actually not seen it. I might at some point because I do like horror movies.
I think you should. Well, actually, what's interesting too is that it is horror, but there also is more of a deeper story, which is appreciated. Because they could have easily just stuck with just a very minimal story, but it was really interesting. Will we see Luke and Ahsoka interact again? Yes. I don't know when, though. I'm assuming we'll. You ever seen the Rocky franchise? Yes, I have. I've seen the Rocky franchise.
I think I've seen one of the movies. I don't even know which one it is.
Do you remember who was in it besides Sylvester Stallone?
I remember that Sylvester Stallone played Rocky in one of those movies.
Oh, okay. As I say, if you remember like a certain actor like Dolph Lundgren, or if you remember Mr. T, like that would be specific on which one it was.
I'm sure I've seen YouTube clips of them.
Gotcha. Those that's crazy. Those movies, like they defined Sylvester Stallone back in the day. It's crazy.
Would love to have seen Roy Harper while it was in Titans. Yeah, I mean, I personally would have brought in the Earth 9 version of Keenan's Wally and Roy's Harper, Colton's Roy. Like I think that would have been fun because I loved them so much in those roles. I think that could have been dope. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Why not?
I mean,
she's an amazing actress, Emmy-winning actress. So why not?
Interesting.
Euphoria is really good.
Shelby. I don't know if she caught up or not. I know that she watched a good bit of it. Like she was binging through it at one point a number of months ago. Like
It's
she
a
was
very
like
quick watch. Honestly, I can understand that.
yeah.
Let's see. A lot of James Gunn questions.
James who?
James Gunn.
He's got a gun.
His arms are guns. I don't know.
His arms are guns.
I don't know.
Jesus, his arms are guns. Who would have thunk it?
Has Andy watched Teen Wolf movie and did he like it? Yes, I watched it last week before my interviews, and I understand a lot of criticism with it. But for me, there was some of the the best, some of the favorite hits that we got to see come back. Obviously, would have loved to see Styles was in it. Still processing what happened to Derek. But hey, Scott McCall is one of my favorite characters on television. So I didn't need the movie to be perfect. It wasn't enjoyable. There were and there was we don't get reunion projects this much anymore. So it's
it's a win. I think. I've not seen the show or the film, but apparently,
Let's see.
Now, this is interesting here.
Did you enjoy Star Wars finale? I did. I know Jordan watched one scene because I told him to go watch it. Okay, go back. Yeah,
people were producing Rock Your Screen Stallone. Yeah, that's a whole thing. He's having issues. I mean, he sold the rights and everything back in the day. So but this is something interesting here to Char brings up. So Anna Diop's Vixen. I'm about to say, like, I think it was Fernando or Night Panther King. I said Night Panther. It's his name on Twitter.
Fernando.
Well, Fernando or Night Panther's one of the two. Panther King, one of the two mods. One of them said, "Oh, now she can play Storm." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that could work." So it could.
You don't seem very convinced.
Well, I mean, like,
would you prefer as Vixen? Maybe.
Well, here's my thing. It's gonna be kind of hard to not see her as Starfire after she's been Starfire. So if you cast her as Vixen or if you cast her as Storm, it's like cool, but Starfire. She already played a character. Like it's one of those things where it's like you bring a character who's already played a superhero into playing another superhero. It's kind of jarring at times. But hey, if she gets Storm or Vixen or any character in the DCU or a Marvel project, that's awesome because she's
Storm. Who I would cast her as.
Storm be perfect. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's see here. Teen Wolf movie was a hot mess. They broke the rules they established. I have no idea.
I will give you a recap at some point.
Well, yeah, because there was like a lot of people like saying online that they were like they're like done with it or whatever. We're at 48 viewers. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Make sure you guys are liking the stream and comment your questions. And super chats are always guaranteed to be read and help support the channel, help supports the stream.
We're 34 likes, so we need 6 more to go.
Let's get to 40 likes, guys. Can we get to 40 likes? Let's do it, guys. Come on, let's do it.
I want James Gordon as.
So you want me? Because I play James Gordon and Gordon. You want me to play Storm? I can play Storm.
You want Ben McKenzie to play Storm?
Well, I was Gordon in a Gordon fan film. I can play
he was Gordon for 5 fucking seasons.
But I was Gordon in a fan film, and that's more important. Let's be real here. I shaved my goddamn beard, and
was that the last time you? Was that the last time you shaved your beard?
Like fully?
Yeah, completely. That was like fully when you all gone.
Yeah, 2018 and 2019 when we filmed it. Yeah, that was it. And the hair grew back. It's the longest the hair's been right now. This is the longest it's been, and it's getting longer. It's gonna keep growing.
You're gonna trim it. You're gonna trim it at some point, right?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because the lighting, but the sides. Let me get the fucking light on here. Here we go. So the siding I trimmed down, but the bulk right here is gonna keep growing. But the siding is more closer to my face.
I think you would look great with just a goatee. I think like the side should. Doesn't he must be getting so hot for you there though?
No, completely fine. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. Like look in the better lighting, you can tell like where it's thinner on here because I trimmed the sides down and everything, and then you just see like just the bulk are just hanging off my face. You see it more in the TikTok videos I did, where I'm like just on my phone.
I'm
You Professor X? Or you click on Professor X? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
No, I didn't know Jordan back then, Al.
We invited him, but he said "fuck you," and
I didn't.
he ripped it up. He ripped it up.
We didn't know each other back then. Like I think you were following me, and then like I think after you got married, I followed.
We didn't do streams before then.
We didn't do it until the pandemic.
Well, I got married after the pandemic happened.
Right, but I didn't start making streams. I didn't start streaming you until the pandemic happened.
I got married in 2021. The pandemic happened in 2020.
Yeah, but we knew each other. Yeah, but we knew each other from 2020 because I think it was right during it was around crisis that we started. No, we've never met in real life, Keita. At some point.
No, we live streamed from our wedding. We did.
Then I'm fucking old. I forgot. I'm very old.
Yeah, we live streamed more than once before my wedding.
Have you ever watched Power Rangers? The third anniversary is this year. I watched a movie that came out in 2017, and I fucking loved it. And then they were like, no sequels.
I should see that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
I think you would really enjoy it.
I'm so behind on so much shit though.
As soon everything is about to come back. It's like we're never like we are not getting a hiatus until like I don't know summer.
Exactly. See, most of my beard is my neck too. Well, see, like my beard grows down into my neck, but you gotta shape it up. You gotta trim that shit up, man. It'd be cool if I was sponsored by Manscaped. If I was sponsored, I wouldn't be fucking working my full-time job if I was making that kind of money. Hell no, I'm not though. He stood me up and went, yeah, he did. I invited him. He's like, fuck you. Sad.
Sure.
I like if you had Brittany on here one day with Andy. Yeah, I mean, I try to get Brittany on here once, but she's busy as hell. Brittany is freaking like I know she does some YouTube still, but she's like doing a bunch of like theater work and like improv stuff. Like she's living her life, man. She's out there doing her stuff.
Because Fridays are usually tight for a lot of people. It's great. It's like when we even get when we can get CG on or etc.
I mean, I guess Peter and MJ. I guess if I had superpowers, maybe. Well, Chainsaw Reacts do a reaction video to Andy's wedding.
Who the fuck said I'm getting married?
Apparently you are.
I want to know who that husband is because I don't see no ring on my fucking finger.
Dollar Shave Club.
Well, I mean, on a serious note, I love it. It's like I'm about to have like like story time with everyone. So like
story time.
Yeah, story time. So, we've been doing this show for now almost a year, and don't go up. Okay, thank God, it's over. It's okay. It's out. Shut up! Don't talk to me. No. So we've almost done it for almost a year, and we're always trying to find we're still learning how we do this show, and so we try different things, and I guess but on the subject of sponsors, like if you guys keep tuning in, the more people we have in here, whether it is through super chats or comments or just like people viewing us. Like I remember when we did those Comic-Con and D23 streams, like if that was what we had more often, like I'm sure at some point we can get to sponsor, and then we can do more things with the show. But it always starts with the viewers. I was engaging with some really nice Flash fans for the Flash podcast this week, and I said to them once again, like, it is because of you listeners that we have made it as far as we have. We're about to go to I've been podcasting with the Flash now for 10 years, and it's thanks to the listeners that got me there to what I'm now doing. Like I've done a lot of amazing things. We'll be doing other amazing things that you guys will find out soon. But it's like it starts with the audience, and that's why like when we because we're pretty much here almost every Friday, but we're only one half of what makes the show work. The other half is you guys. So like, do tune in, leave comments, and discuss with us. Send in super chat because it does support the channel and financially so because this is we gotta eat. We gotta eat food. And so yeah, so like, and that's why also we want to hear from you guys. Like, what are things that you think we should try to experiment more with on Endless Multiverse? Because again, there's a reason Jordan picked Endless. He came up with the name. He's the genius who came up with the name. But Endless is because there's endless potential of what we can do. Like when we're doing reaction corner, surprise reaction corner, like we will pick something that neither of us has seen because he reacts to pretty much like 25 trailers every week or something. I don't know. I'm lost track. So it's like, yeah, it starts with the audience, because we're here to give you guys a great time and have a nice time with you guys, whether it's about fun topic or serious topic, whatever and so on. So ramble over. I'm not trying to call you out, Al. My sexuality is bisexual. So but I realized that when I was 7 because of this guy. Did my finger land right underneath Tom Welling?
Yes.
Perfect. Tom Welling was my bisexual awakening. Did my family accept it? So I didn't tell them until I was like 17 or 18. I told my sister first, and she accepted me. She was fine with it. I had to come out to my father 3 times. He laughed at me every single time, and was it was a phase. Suddenly I wasn't allowed to have boys alone at home. Like only if they were home, and he's gotten better over it, but like it didn't make my father. We love each other, but we've had a very complicated relationship. My mom, like she wasn't against it. It was just something like she was like, okay, I'm just gonna process it, and now she's good. But there's some people my relatives they don't. My only single grandparent who's still alive, my grandmother, she hasn't talked to me for years. She has her beliefs. She can live her life, do whatever she wants. I'm good. But yeah, it's a complicated question. It was everyone had different reactions.
And if you're gonna ask me if I accept it, no, I'm an anti-woke, as you guys know, anti-woke. That's what I do.
It's all you white people that destroy the world anyway. Whoops.
That's what we do. That's what we do every day. I'm proud of it.
It's okay, Miata. I'm like, it's again, like it could have been worse. I know, sadly, in a lot of Middle Eastern families, they're homosexuality and bisexuality and lesbianism is something that there's parents that if they're Muslims, for example, they will physically hurt their kids. Sometimes far worse. My parents never called me the F slur or like they never. Again, it was just they had to come to terms with it. I think my dad is still a little like. When we talk about like, because I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a girlfriend, but he's talking about like, well, if you ever get married, like if you ever find a wife, I'm like, or a husband, but well, you could, you like both, but it's like, it's still like, again, he's a wonderful father. He's done a lot of great things for my life, but it's just, this is he just has a process. But I know fathers who are 10 times worse when kids come out of the closet. We have a superhero Scott Evers. Thank you so much. Season 9, Walker is wrapped. Then she better get her ass up to fucking Vancouver and start shooting because they flash wraps in Mars.
And they're shooting 11 right now, right? 11.
They just started 11.
Yeah. So not a lot of time, people. I'm tired.
No, you didn't upset me. You didn't upset me. No, like this is part of my past. It It builds character. Listen, I deal with fucking weirdos online who will call me F slur des or T word dad or all.
You can just say my name.
If you were calling me these kind of things, I would socially
Oh.
destroy you. So what I will say, is, I deal with homophobia pretty much every week. I deal with death threats. I deal with, people just don't like seeing brown, bisexual, Persian in the position I am. I still get hate for the stuff I do with Flash because people are just like, you don't ask the question that we want you to ask. So, you should be killed or something.
Mm.
Why didn't you ask Jeff Johns about Jay Garrick?
That whole fucking thing.
Hey, buddy, I'm not talking about Joe. I'm talking about that little weird out there. If you're watching, this is what I think about Joe. Oh no, Jordan, I just got us demonetized.
I don't know.
It's fine.
Would you guys rather be in a world where
Ooh.
Star Wars and Marvel didn't exist, on a world or a world where DC and Harry Potter didn't exist? Fuck.
So, what would pop culture look like without Star Wars? Because Star Wars, I feel like it's like,
Star Wars
that came
changed
in.
it, yeah.
Yes, I think. Jennifer, you're always if you're gonna pose these difficult questions, pay us and then put us through the emotion. This is emotional damage. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Yeah, I guess Harry Potter is equivalent to Star Wars.
Fuck. Now Star Wars is on another level though, but I get your point. They're both very popular.
I feel if we didn't have Star Wars, I don't think DC and Marvel and Harry Potter would even have a chance to exist in pop culture.
Like they do now.
Shit.
Yeah, because Star Wars changed everything.
Yes, yeah, because that was the idea of George Lucas funded his project on his own, and
right there. It changed
yeah. We have a super chat from the amazing
Thank you,
Webhead, amazing Webhead.
Yes,
I guess this is for you.
Yes, I did.
Which one was it this time you watched? Which episode is it?
The Harley Quinn episode.
Oh, I thought. See, I thought you released it that last week. Okay, so okay,
no.
you did tell me.
Yeah, I watched it Wednesday. Yeah, I watched it Wednesday. It was phenomenal. It was so fun. I edited it earlier. I'm gonna upload it and get it ready for tomorrow. But yeah.
Oh, thank you, Kiara. I'm so proud of how Annie deals with all the crap I see on. I was horrible at it in the big like 9 years ago. When Felicity fans, when certain fans would come from me. But thank you, I appreciate it. 10,000 followers on TikTok. Like, what is you need to at some point show a statistic of like what each day has looked like 2,000, 1,500, or like how the fall has been going up.
Can I actually show that on here?
You can, if you log in on TikTok on your computer, yeah.
Oh, I am logged on my TikTok computer. I am.
Okay, cool. Okay, check for that you don't show any private information. I can.
No, it won't be private information. But thank you for 6,000, Jennifer. Thank you so much. And
you already crossed. You're at
60.1
kingy.
Analytics. Oh, Jesus, it was playing shit. Analytics, you dumb whore. Come on,
Jordan.
I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to get this thing. Okay. And released emoji cut. Oh yeah. We hit 40 likes.
Wait. What cut?
The emoji movie is terrible. That was the joke because the emoji movie.
Okay.
I have a reaction from Patreon. It was terrible. Okay, so I got two things to show actually.
Okay, just be careful.
I want to show you how massive this is.
Mm-hmm.
Share screen. Yeah, it's not personal. Okay. Making sure. Analytics. Yes. Here we go. So this is over the past 60 days. 7,636,000 views.
Can you zoom in just a little bit more?
Yep.
Thank you.
There's the video views over the past 60 days from November 27th to yesterday. Profile views 37,205, likes 706,000, comments 36,000, shares 28,000 shares of my videos. Here's a graph. So this is where because like down in here, video views 397, 269, 258. Then we dive into 390, 659. And this is around
16
I believe, I don't know the exact, I believe it was a Black Adam video I did, which broke 1 million views. And this is total views across days. Now, over the past number of days, January 21st, 772, 490, 857, 720, 700,000 yesterday.
Wait, go back 2 days. I want to, hold on, because I want to see 23rd, thank you. Let's see, January 23rd. See, this is what I wish TikTok could do. Like, they would actually put that. Okay, there's the dates. Okay, 17. Today's the 27th. So,
yeah.
The
26th has not been updated yet. Yeah.
Let's see. Which video is it that got you so much? This is interesting.
Well, what video got me the last couple of days was 2 videos. It was one.
Here's the Hogwarts. It's at 149.8K hearts.
Yeah, that's likes.
And then you have 16,000 comments.
Yeah. Oh, so it broke 16. It was at 15.9. We were talking earlier about that. But there's also another video a little bit earlier that started the whole thing of getting 772,000 on January 21st. It was a video that organically after a day or so being up, it was me doing a trend of, it's like a filter of showing, it generates randomly 3 celebrities. And there's a bunch of people online, like not like failing horribly for minutes doing this challenge. And I was able to name the 3 celebrities. Yes. That's the one that first started the whole thing. And then when I did the Harry Potter video, that's when I broke over 10,000. So here's what I was also going to show you this too, the follower thing here. So past 60 days, this is the start of so 5,189 is where I was at December 11th. And then when I started posting covering like news and stuff and talking about Black Adam and all that DC stuff coming out. And then you see this, like, I earned 222 followers in one day from December 11th to December 12th. And then there was a spike December 15th to December 16th. And here's the biggest spike right here. January 22nd, I had 8,153. I earned 1,474 followers onto January 23rd, and then 800 on 24th, and then 11,000 at 5 for 545 additional. I've had 22 posts in the past 7 days.
Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, you're so eager.
My hair. But
what
yeah,
is that text? Oh, that's my article.
But yeah, this is what's happening on TikTok. I don't know, because see, TikTok doesn't pay like YouTube. I just got into the Creator Fund program, so I'm going to be seeing, I think, tomorrow.
Then go follow Chainsaw on TikTok.
Yes, I think the Creator Fund will update tomorrow in regards to what I earned on.
Oh, it's one of those like 24 hours.
It's 3 days, but it's 3 days. But once you start the days, it gets updated each day. But it takes 3 days for some of the process. So obviously each day it will update. But I had to wait 3 days since I jumped on.
Look at my pathetic profile. Like let's see, I have like 24 followers.
But yeah, so I broke the threshold on Wednesday, and I got submitted. So tomorrow I should have my first idea of these videos blowing up, and it's not guaranteed because, like, see, I had, like, as you can see, like, the growth was sporadic. Some days not much, but then that Harry Potter video got me skyrocketing, and with more followers in general, that means I get more followers. Like, more followers will see my content each day. And then you see this here. So this is like a peak time thing of when my followers are online. So on the 24th, and that's the last time it was updated. The data is not available yet for 25th. there was 3,607 people on from my followers list at 4:00 on the 24th of January. So I can see peak times when to make a video, because uploading a video at 5 a.m., it's not going to have anybody hardly see it. But if I wait, because I was starting the thing of doing uploads at like 2:00, and now I'm doing uploads at 1, sometimes noon, and then 2, 3, and 4. So I've had multiple videos uploading per day at times.
When is animating a TikTok? Well, Jordan, do you want to show them my latest TikTok? Don't play the music. I don't know if it's copyrighted or not.
Let's see. Search account. Like, I can actually just pull it up.
Yeah, my name is Andy.
But will it actually? Hold on. Can I go to my follower list? Please wait.
I don't want to wait. Oh wow, that's so. Look at you. Good job.
I won't let me pull up.
You know what my name is, right?
No, but when I type in Andy, it's not pulling up anything. It's not giving me. Oh, come on. Make sure I spell this correctly.
Belly work. Andy, that's me. Yeah, that's totally me.
Yeah, that's wholly you. There's your account. 25 followers.
I know, it's so pathetic.
And that was your interview with
Joseph Morgan.
And what's interesting too, I found on the website. So you see on the video, like if I hover, you see a little Andy that pops up, like that kind of thing would pop up like the name or whatever if you save a video. But for some reason, when you're on the website, it shows like where you had like re-uploaded it. Because see, when I re-upload TikToks on YouTube, you'll see where it shows like a TikTok logo and my @ in that side, and then it jumps down to the other corner. But it does that for all the TikToks on the website. But when you go on the phone, because I was like, why is it showing that? So I went to my phone and it was like, oh, that must be just the website doing that. Because that's what happens when you download a video. It shows your name so that it's burned into the video, so that if someone tries to re-upload it and tries to steal it, then you know where it actually came from. So
I actually like that.
It's pretty smart.
Can we play my latest one, or will you get copyright struck?
This?
Yeah.
Probably will get struck. I mean, it might not even play. I'll just mute just in case. So you the Wednesday dance, but you got verified on Instagram.
Yay! I dance with my hands. I listen to that fucking song every day now.
Nice.
But
yeah, it's been awesome.
It's been a good week for us.
It's been crazy.
You cracked 60+ subscribers, 10K followers on TikTok. Let's take a little look at Jordan's week on YouTube, because let's see, Shazam is already doing great. Megan, Scooby Doo, basically Warner Brothers.
That was fun video to do. Yeah,
The Last of Us. I think we should do a sketch at some point. Ben 10 Alien Force. Ben 10 Alien Force. I know that's not a song at all. Every was it Omniverse fan? Remember when I was like, go have fun in your little Ben verse. Like, it's an Omniverse, Andy. We should do a sketch at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a good week for both of us. When I woke up and saw I was verified, I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll probably never get verified on anything. It's okay.
You have 10,000 followers on TikTok. You're still growing. Like, it's you win some, you lose some, but it's like Sarah Michelle Gellar has I've exchanged eye contact with her. Tyler Posey. Well, there's one TikTok you can play from me that is no music.
That's what we should do.
Okay. Only if we do that song.
Only.
Okay, you know what? Okay, remember when we did the stupid of like we get up to $500 and I shave my head?
Yeah. If
we can get up to $500 super chat across 1 month where we do shows every Friday, we will do a TikTok dance. Again, I can't fly over to him. He can't fly over to me, but we will do it remotely. So yeah, we will do it. But you know, you got You gotta get it out there.
One last question. Let's go. It's a good last question to end on.
Well, we lost so many in just 24 hours.
That's true.
Wait, hold on. It's ringing. Oh my God, it's Daddy Zaddy. Hi, it's Madeline from She-Hulk. What are you canceling tomorrow? Oh. But they're still filming, though. Oh my God, you can't even... Hello? So, guys, totes bad news. They had to do budget cuts for Superman Lois, so they had to cut one of the people. So it's now just called Lois.
Damn.
And they had to cut in the Flash too. So now it's just the Lois.
the Lois.
Jesus Christ. One canceled show. You know what? Let's try to challenge ourselves. Let's not pick a superhero show. Let's try to pick it outside the box.
Okay, no superhero show. A non-superhero show. Jesus. Okay, I got one. Show called Terra Nova. It was a show ahead of its time about the they go back in time because they're over. I think it's like overpopulation or something on the planet.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was on Fox, right?
I think it was, and they had one season, and they went back and were living among dinosaurs. The CGI wasn't the best, but the show was ahead of its time. Like that show would be successful as hell now if they had the CGI that they can do on TV now, especially on the higher budget and stuff. If they could do that show now, which they're doing a show, I didn't even know about this. They're doing a show kind of not really like Terra Nova, but it's like a show where there's like a hole that opens up in the city and they're in another, like they're like inside the earth or whatever. And there's like all these creatures that are not within our world or whatever. It's like, it's kind of like that. I'm like, I've never heard of it. Apparently it's got 2 seasons right now, but I think Terra Nova would have been successful if it was being made today. Like if that was an HBO show, oh yeah, that thing would crush. Because people are like, oh my God, dinosaurs.
I saw promos for that. It looked pretty sick. But Fox just, Fox is, douches for sci-fi shows.
They just keep throwing, they just kept trying stuff. That's the problem. Like they just kept throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And that was the unfortunate thing to where it just cost too much to do.
Let me think. A show that got canceled. Not superhero. Oh, I know. So this is actually a CW show from almost 12 years ago. I would revive Hellcats. That was it was a cheerleader show from Tom Welling. Actually, it was his first show he executive produced during the final season of Smallville. It starred Ali Mashaka, from Phil the Future, iZombie, and it had Matt Barr, who's now on Walker Independence, Ashley Tisdale, and that show ended on so many cliffhangers, and I'm like, fucking bring that back. I want to know where Marty was going.
There was one show my wife was watching that did the same thing. It had 2 seasons, and they did bring it back and ended on a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's like I like those like sports teams, like dramas. Like, I love Friday Night Lights. Obviously now I love Ted Lasso, but Hellcats was. Yeah, I watched Hellcats before I even watched Friday Night Lights. And that's how I got into the sports. Like the behind the sports team and so on.
Yeah. I actually have another one. It was very recently, 1899, the new show from the creators of Dark from Netflix. That show ended on such a big reveal, and they didn't bring it back for season 2. So stupid.
Jesus.
It was a pain in the ass because that show was so trippy, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And then you see the end, and you're like, oh, okay, never mind. This show is completely different than we thought it was, and they don't bring it back.
Well, if I would bring back a show that just recently got canceled, it would be Gossip Girl.
That just got canceled?
Yeah, it got canceled 2 weeks ago. So why they tied into the Doolittle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But David, I hope you enjoy your fucking money.
Yes.
And this is the thing. Last thing I will say is that all of these things better start leading to something good.
Mm-hmm.
It
better.
Well, one of Jordan's new favorite show got renewed today. Last Lotus. No, wait. The last of it. Wait, what's it called?
Last of Us.
The Last of Us. The Last Lotus. What the fuck am I?
You're probably thinking White Lotus, that show that's on HBO as well.
Oh, is that the one with Jennifer Coolidge?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think,
I saw it on HBO Max as like a thing, or like, oh yeah, that.
But so that your show got renewed. That's awesome. That's I think that's the fastest renewal I think they've done since. I don't even Game of House of Dragon got renewed that quickly. Did it?
I think it might have been renewed after one episode. I don't remember.
I know it had good numbers.
Yeah, it was. Well, House of Dragon had like 10 million viewers for. I mean, I think it was renewed after one episode, so maybe faster than Last of Us. But Last of Us, that's not too surprising. The fact that the show is actually good, and the second episode did better than the first one in terms of live viewership at the time. Yeah, you got to bring it back.
Would I like it?
I think you would. I think you should give it a shot. You should give it a shot.
No, his favorite show is not Gotham Knight. That's
no. That's...
What are we gonna do that week when both Superman Lois and Gotham Knights premieres? Like, because I want to talk about both of them that week.
We will. Yay! Ooh, I'm so thrilled. Ooh. But okay, guys. I think it's been fun. We had a great episode. We had some sad news, some interesting news, and we spent a lot of time answering you guys' questions. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting the stream and being here. A lot of good
conversations tonight. See, this is what internet should be like. We should be able to have civil conversations and not fight each other. So, we
all have different opinions at the end of the day, but we're here to have fun. We're here to talk about the things we love, and that's really it. That's really it, guys.
And your mother.
Everybody,
all your mothers.
As you guys know, we always end on the same note every single week, and we have to end on this note. And it's unfortunate people left, but they have to see this. To everyone here, you get a treat. You get to see the best clip ever. Do not forget, this is what Nora looks like at the beginning of the clip. Hope you guys enjoyed this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode of Endless Multiverse. We'll be back next week. And here's your clip, the one, the only, Gracie.
Metas killed your parents, Gracie. They all deserve to die.
Don't believe him, Grace.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him. Everybody does have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next week. Stay safe out there, guys. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
You guys are not ready.
You're not ready for whatever he's talking about. Bye-bye. So long. Farewell. I need to say goodbye.